Hi everyone, welcome back to Via Oracle, and I'm intending on making more videos. It's been touch and go with a baby, but I'm happy to plug in because the lunar radiation knocked my socks off with the Scorpio full moon. It was like I had a soul retrieval, I had shadow work, there was triggers, there was outbursts, there was physical ailments from me and my friends, and I have really attuned, energetically sensitive circle, and so getting the lowdown on everything the Scorpio moon was bringing up was just so palpable for everybody that I'm excited to look into what we have in store for the Gemini new moon, because it's a powerful one and it represents the beginning of the new year astrologically. So the energies are just so potent and alchemizing and transformative that it represents the new year. And I have been drinking more herbs than I ever have in my life. I've gotten into making my own teas, which has been a really rewarding journey that my husband envisioned I would be doing. And I'm going to be working with some different cards today just for variety, for clarity. So we'll see what the message is and what we're going to tune into. I'm going to start with the Shaman, Mystical Shaman Oracle. What do we need to know about this upcoming moon? I did a video on this today, and I was 4 minutes in, and then my baby girl spit up, and I just decided to trash the whole thing and start over. So it looks like we have magic. And yeah, this is self-explanatory, but the power of the mystical, the divine, the serendipity, the synchronicity, the aligning to that flow state that brings us into manifesting our highest timeline. And with the middle world, it's all about bringing that magic into the 3D, 4D, all the dimensional realities, so including the denser ones. This is really interesting because often when we're in a state of fight or flight, dealing with our root chakra, sense of security and financial stability, which is a big theme in today's world with what we have going on in our economy and politically. And what I want to say about this is you can create magic even in a state of working towards basic survival. That to neglect your divine self because of what's happening in the 3D it's making a choice based on an illusion that ultimately won't serve you, because magic is a birthright that we have because we are all divine, no matter what's going on with the matrix system, no matter what's going on with the reptilian agenda, or what your bank account looks like, or if you don't know where you're going to live the next week. It doesn't matter. You should always have a spiritual magic practice and keep connected to source, because that's what is going to transform and ascend the earth to fifth dimensional reality and beyond. And we got the seal, which is very interesting that ocean animals are coming up as our helpers and allies at this time from the animal kingdom, because I pulled the salmon card this morning in my first attempt at this reading, and then I pulled the dolphin card the other day when it was about my integrating the soul retrieval and having more play in my life. So this is a great example of how there's going to be water, depth, ocean. I believe Gemini is a water sign, or is it an air sign? It might be an air sign. But the seal, I don't know what this one represents. Hang on. It is water for the seal, and it's about protection during change, lucid dreaming, protection from danger, movement through emotion. So that was what the salmon represented as well, is we're moving through our emotions. We're not letting our emotions metastasize in our bodies, and we're transmuting or alchemizing or honoring them depending on what kind of shadow work you're doing. Creativity, if you're doing any shadow work. So yeah, creativity, when seal slides into your life, you're being told that this is the time to pay close attention to your hunches, your dreams, even your daydreams. They're all working to manifest your reality in an extra strong way right now. So take advantage. Yeah, there's potent magical frequencies coming our way from the higher realms and dimensions and our guides and ancestors. Spirit is very strong with this next moon. I'm going to pull from the soul cards because I think that this is a good balance for my readings to add in cards that are interpretive, that don't have a fixed meaning, but it's all about eliciting a visual response from the viewer, as art does. Oh my gosh, yes. So this is great. It's the Magician, and I'm calling him the Magician, even though he doesn't have a name in this deck because none of the cards have names, but it's so clearly a magician to me. And he is doing sigil, sacred geometry, alchemy, and he has out his left hand, so there's this esoteric element there. Some of you have been working on creating your reality, and self-mastery is the theme here with magic, because you're aware of your part in your reality. You're aware of the fact that the elements, every resource in your field, can be used to call in your highest destiny and to align yourself with your highest timeline. And that magic is ultimately real, because people, boring NPC people, naysayers, are saying that it's all science. And what we're learning is that science and magic coexist together, because there are simply things so advanced that they seem like magic. And then there's magic, which breaks the odds of physics. It breaks our understanding of reality, because reality is malleable to what we're capable of. There's too many cards. Let me redo this. I'm pulling a sexual magic tarot. I wonder what's going on with the archetypal masculine feminine energies at this time. To me, it feels like there's some intentional triggering and shadow work being brought out of the feminine. Scorpio is such a maternal, wounded energy, and it's all about making peace with your socially unacceptable, less flattering parts of yourself that you have compartmentalized and thrown away. So we have, what is this? Queen of Pentacles is a cold energy. He's kissing her feet. There's not a lot of physical intimacy with this card. It's more about power and finances. So if you're trying to manifest money, if you're feminine who's trying to use magic to call forth your birthright of wealth and prosperity, good for you. Just maybe see that you're not totally abandoning or being imbalanced with the masculine as you do it. For those in partnership, I would advise that. But if you're single and you're trying to get that coin, secure the bag, great, you do that, queen. There's another card I'd like to pull for clarity on the Queen of Pentacles. We have Three of Swords. So sorrow, betrayal, hurt. This is getting specific now. We're going to go into details here. She is probably being unfaithful is the vibe that I'm getting, emotionally, mentally, maybe physically. I don't know the context or who this is for, but Three of Swords is all about something being wedged between her and her lover. So, okay, there's a new message with this reading. Somebody is using magic to create a rift between you and your twin flame, kingdom spouse, soulmate partner, is the vibe that I'm getting here. And I'm going to pull another shaman oracle. Tell me more about this couple. What's going on? We have Beauty Way. So it's about perception. Just because a situation is not too, this is pointed, but it's a woman and there's a situation, she is letting cloud her awareness of a union. It's a really psychic attack on her perception. So the Beauty Way is all about her reframing the fact that, because the vibe I'm getting is that the union she's in is the one she needs to stay in for her galactic mission, and that this third party is an infiltration, that there is a Mr., a mistress in this situation, a Jezebel spirit. The Beauty Way is all about allowing yourself to sacrifice what you think should be going on for what is actually happening, and coming to terms and peace with reality and with your relationships. And it's a sacrifice of reverence. It's a kind of spiritual practice where you build gratitude, you build intentional, loving, compassionate energy toward your soulmate, your partner, and that's what needs to happen for this relationship during this moon. This is really specific, so let me just pull a general animal card archetype for the rest of this reading. I feel like we got that out of the way. Actually, no. Let me pull another of the soul cards just to bring more clarity to the Beauty Way. So there's a man breathing out a feminine energy face. There's, I believe, about speech, throat chakra, speaking more positive things into being about your relationship and totally framing your relationship with only intentionally building upwards, words that aren't tearing down, because your tongue is a double-edged sword. So there could be cutting apart or bringing life. Be careful with your words at this time. Gemini is all about communication, I believe. I don't know a lot about Gemini other than the people in my life who are Gemini, and they're always so complex, and I have trouble connecting with them because of my sign, but I also need them to balance me out. I think they're a great addition to my reality. To the Geminis out there, love you. We got Cobra. There's so much snake energy. Okay, I just feel like the snake is the unofficial symbol of Gemini, because like every Gemini I know has some kind of snake symbol going on. It's very Kali, it's very like Kundalini. And so this to me, Cobra 33, great number. I think there's like 33 vertebrae in the spine. So again, with the Kundalini rising, it's soul guide, moving quickly, memory of the soul world, transmutation of the soul, all about the soul, and past life memories and wisdom of the goddess. There's going to be unexpected opportunities, and it's a wise idea to strike quickly. So alternatively, are you stuck in an impossible to break fixation on something or someone? Snap out of it. Yeah, so this is also going back to the other cards I pulled, which is some of you are hooked on something that you wanted to bring into your reality that it's not for you. Let it go, move on. There's things you need to do, and it's not serving you to hang on to this thing, and you know what that thing is. So I'm gonna pull another card to close out here, because I think there's just a really specific message today. I'm seeing that magic and water and fire, I mean, we have things happening with the throat chakra. We have things happening with anchoring magic into this realm. There's a really beautiful play on knowing how powerful we are to create our reality, and the ways that we hold ourselves back and perhaps keep us sick and poor and single and whatever it is that we don't want in our reality. It's all about changing that by taking full ownership of where this plays a part. So we got cruelty and the Knight of Cups. Cruelty is a really heavy card, obviously, and the Knight of Cups, he is reaching towards Cancer, so it's a very water energy again. There's this flamboyancy, this youthful male energy. He seems kind of naive to me, but Pegasus, there's a lot of like fluid motion and aspiration and feelings, and I think romance. It's a very romantic card. The cruelty card, I think, is some of you are awakening to the ways that your mind... Okay. The Cancer is about the moon, so this is about the moon. And it's about how you're afraid to let go of the ways that you mentally abuse yourself and become your own critic, and also keep yourself from being happy in the situation you're in, and keeping yourself from making it better if you need to make it better and change things, because of the way that beating yourself up mentally, it's become a habit, it's become a stronghold, it's become the shame, the self-criticism, the self-hate, the fear, the anxiety. It's distracting you from a higher reality, because what it does to stay there, to stay in your mind and to gain traction, is tell you that to let go of it would be to be too rambunctious, lofty, naive. He's giving me like fool energy, where he's just like going for it and like walking a tightrope, and it's like, I don't want to be that fool who takes risks and doesn't see the consequences and potential dangers of every situation. I'm reasonable. I'm a smart, grounded person who could never make such stupid mistakes. And the reality is that more play and more reprogramming of your subconscious mind, as well as using magic to break yourself out of a matrix mind programming in the Archon reptilian energies, is what's going to bring you your highest reality. So you just have to get the fuck over yourself and realize that following your path, your highest destiny, you're not even gonna be working on dealing with negativity anymore. You're just gonna be expanding into receptivity of all the blessings that are coming your way. So reframe your thinking to, how can I expand my capacity for love? How can I expand my capacity for pleasure? How can I expand my capacity for knowing what I deserve and going after it unapologetically? And that's the message today. I'm gonna pull one more shaman oracle because I feel like it. Love these cards. And it's the rattle. I don't remember what the rattle's about. This always happens to me with the rattle. The rattle is the spirit caller carrying the shaman's prayer to the four directions. The body of the rattle is like the earth spinning on its axis. With the aid of the rattle, the medicine woman instills a desired destiny in her future, closing with the prayer, "Great Spirit, may your will be done." The rattle guides us to pray for all the earth, not just for our personal needs. When we offer our prayers for the highest good of all, everything we need is provided for us. The rattle comes to invite you to work with the tools of spirit, but be careful. They are very sharp and can hurt you and others if they are not used mindfully. Set your old tools aside and take up the drawing instruments of spirit. You are consciously stepping into partnership with the divine. This is the time for courageous deeds. Do not let your hesitation get in the way of your expression. So there's major opportunities coming your way, as well as major potential blockages and spiritual psychic infiltration that you will have to protect yourself from. So be mindful, because it's all about the soul, it's all about the spirit, it's all about you connecting to God and remembering that what brings you the most happiness is living authentically and giving back to others, because we are tribal in nature. And be wary not to speak words that are curses. Do not put verbal curses upon yourself, and do not forget to embrace what beauty can be found all around you, even if it's hard to look for at first glance. Beauty is everywhere, and ultimately you can find it in your situation when you cultivate more gratitude. Thank you so much, everybody. I look forward to posting more. I keep wanting to say Mercury full moon, Gemini full moon, new moon. This is crazy. Have a great day.